Paris and Laos are the next up in line after that. And then I think Cardano is best in class for scalability across the entire industry, but it'll continue to run without shutting itself down every 15 minutes. And it doesn't compromise security. So that blockchain trilemma feels really, really good. And I'm proud of that. So thank you guys so much for being part of this. And it's a good day. It's a pretty exciting day. This is going to be one of our best months as a community, and more months to come. And they just get better every month. We got a lot of things to look forward to, a lot of great technology that's coming down the pipe, and a lot of great events coming down the pipe.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, I am dropping a Cardano ADA update that I am ecstatic and excited to be releasing. We are going to be updating you guys on what originally got me interested in Cardano, this concept of Ouroboros layers, input endorsers. It's gone by a few names. It essentially is a concept that will see the Cardano blockchain get parallelized, be able to replicate, and actually the underlying consensus Ouroboros be able to consent multiple, perhaps different blockchains or blocks, all concurrent to the underlying main chain. This may see Cardano become best in class as far as blockchain goes. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. As I said at the start, this is a exciting video for me because this is the original reason that we actually got interested in Cardano all those years ago. And a good place for me to start is in regards to the original whiteboard clip that Charles Hoskinson released, where he initially spoke about this concept. I can't remember how many years it was ago, 7 years ago or something, whereas today we're at the finishing line, or approaching the finishing line, in regards to actually getting this through and implementing it to the Cardano network. Guys, let's dive into that clip.
And as a consequence, this system is considerably cheaper to run, even though we still have similar security guarantees that Bitcoin currently enjoys. So it's a major advancement. But the other really interesting thing is that these slot leaders don't have to just maintain a single block and a single chain. They can actually maintain other blocks and other chains. Because the cost of constructing a block is so low, it's actually now tractable to talk about consensus over a range of blockchains instead of a single chain. Furthermore, epochs perhaps could even be run in parallel. So instead of having one epoch run and then another epoch run, one could develop a system using Ouroboros where epochs run in parallel and transactions are partitioned accordingly. What this effectively means is, as you gain more users and your users gain more capabilities, these slot leaders will be able to maintain more types of blockchains and also run transaction processing for blockchains in parallel. This is a major advancement. The other cool thing is that Ouroboros has very rigorous security standards in terms of its theoretical foundations as well as its implementation. So as a consequence, as we develop new capabilities for the protocol, these capabilities are somewhat composable, meaning that these capabilities will also be secure. Whereas other systems, one has to prove these things on a case-in-case basis, in some cases make major modifications or changes to their system.
This is absolutely huge. And again, was one of the reasons I got into Cardano, because of this concept entirely. You know, it was certainly evident to me and many others out there that you weren't going to be able to scale just one layer one to the degree that something like a financial operating system or an identity operating system or whatever these blockchains are trying to be, you couldn't do that just on one layer one. So this concept actually solved the issue of how you could facilitate that, but whilst maintaining security and kind of completing the blockchain trilemma, which is essentially what this concept, this paper that is about to be dropped, Charles did leak it and we'll show you him leaking it, is essentially solving. So this is huge. We see, actually, if we look at other blockchains out there, so for example, Polkadot, we're a big fan of Polkadot, largely for the same reasons that we're a fan of Cardano in regards to parallelizing systems, duplicating them and getting your scale from that whilst optimizing for security and inherently introducing interoperability. But Polkadot, if you look at their version of Ouroboros, called Grandpa with Babe on top, they've essentially done this and it works spectacularly. And if you look at Ethereum's roadmap is all about taking things, using that layer one as kind of like a security chain, or a Bitcoin reference would be the kind of settlement layer, and taking things off chain. But Ouroboros inherently, with benefits like EUTXO, is really going to shine in regards to this department. And this is all happening and coming into sort of action at a time when the market is really starting to pick up, and we are approaching and going to start seeing those real world use cases for blockchains. And Cardano with this actually implemented is going to be one of the few blockchains that is going to be fit to actually facilitate real world use cases. So this is something interesting. Remember, and I want to say this has still got to play out. I've been waiting a long time for this paper to just get released, let alone implemented. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is getting far closer. And this is an exciting video for me because, again, this is the reasons why I actually got into Cardano. Let's dive over to the opening clip of his update.
So as many of you know, we've been working for several years now on the Ouroboros Laos agenda, and also has many names like input endorsers. There was parallel chains. So there's all kinds of things that we were researching. And basically, long and short is we're trying to figure out a solution to the blockchain trilemma that stands the test of time. So I'm going to make a brief whiteboard video. I'm going to talk about the paper and show you guys the goods a little bit, but I'm not going to publish or reveal the full paper. Aggelos is going to do a whole series of videos and work on our scalability side of the house later in the month, and it's going to be a long form. And also, we're cleaning the paper right now, getting the last minute details done for full publication publicly. So it's been submitted, but I did want to just talk a little bit about it because I know so many people in the ecosystem community are interested in this particular piece of work.
Interested indeed. So this is absolutely huge, really can't be understated what is kind of being done here. Cardano in its current form, in my opinion, isn't fit for real world applications, certainly ones that need high throughput, but with this, it will basically enable it to be so. And on top of that, it's all the benefits that come with it, like how much more easy Hydra can be implemented, partner chains. It's a real kind of missing piece to the Cardano puzzle that Charles actually dropped an update on yesterday. We'll go ahead and put on the screen an actual sneak peek of the paper. He only had it on there for a split second. But this is going to be coming very soon. What I want to do now is actually dive over to his roadmap for this, and then we'll conclude the video. I was kind of hoping that we'd have it up on ePrint at the end of the month, but they got it submitted to conference, and they're going to take a second pass at it and add a few more things and clean a few more things, but it will be out very soon. And as I said, we're going to make some videos to kind of explain how the entire protocol works because it's so important. So where do we go from here? There's currently an active team prototyping Ouroboros Paris. They're working real hard on it, and the hope is throughout the summer to get the entire prototype done. We've had some internal conversations about taking that team, scaling it up a bit, and also starting the prototyping of Laos, because there's a lot of overlap between some of the principles of Laos and the underlying protocol and Praus, the fast finality protocol. They actually are very closely related in certain respects. They're both meta protocols to enhance properties of Ouroboros. So my hope is to get all of that prototyping done and get both protocols into RFP state, and then actually pick vendors, get those vendors through a process through Intersect, and say, hey, how do we do this fixed cost, fixed time, and let's do it fast so we can get this fast. Because I do believe next year there's going to be a huge drive in cryptocurrency adoption, so there's going to be a lot of scalability demands on Cardano. Laos, I think, is going to give us dramatic increase in overall layer 1 performance. And then when complemented with rollups, which we're getting with Plutus V3, and thanks to projects like ZK Fold and Midnight and other things, and complemented with where Hydra is going and how rapidly Hydra is evolving, and also complemented with advancements to our programming model and partner chains, this house of things together will make us best in class for scalability. So as you can see, this is pretty insane. It's going to be, again, massive to be getting an update on this and actually having a formal paper released. It's then going to be a case of going to get implemented, and he gave a bit of a clue into to how that roadmap was going to go. And you've got all these other things going on for Cardano, like governance. You know, there's going to be nearly $1 billion worth of the treasury coming on at some point. You know, there's a lot going on. We'll try and keep you up to date on it. We've not done a video on Cardano in a little while. I'm a massive fan of the Cardano blockchain. I think as far as blockchain goes, they really have tried to solve the problems that faced it and create this really optimal, amazing blockchain. But sometimes the best tech doesn't always win. I would like to see personally, I'm not 100% convinced that Cardano from an investment point of view, separating myself from being a big fan of it fundamentally, is going to do very well from an investment point of view, given what other projects are doing and the kind of steam and traction that they're getting. However, the table's concerned. That's just my own personal opinion. Don't hate me for it. I'm just being honest. What would you do? Prefer that I came out and lied to everybody? But I am still a massive fan of this blockchain. I still run a stake pool that I've been running for a long time, and I'm going to be a part of trying to help this blockchain succeed. And this is really exciting. This is a big, big deal, and it kind of, again, completes a lot of the kind of Cardano puzzle. And where it goes from there, we'll see. And as Charles mentioned at the end of the video, you know, this is going to be a big year, 2 years for the blockchain crypto industry. And hopefully this can be in place for when that happens, and Cardano can be a viable option for the kind of moving or evolution from Web 2 to Web 3. I mean, they're both going to exist, but you know, you're going to see people upgrading and actually harnessing the powers of cryptography and blockchain, because it finds itself at the convergence of many industries out there. And it's going to play a role. These blockchains, these layer ones, are going to be operating systems of tomorrow. They're going to be rails and infrastructure of tomorrow, just like what we see today, just like we see internet infrastructure being how things work. You know, blockchains are going to be kind of how things work without people even knowing that that's how they work. So that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. This is an absolutely huge one. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Thanks a lot for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next.